A long way still remains to ensure that the benefits of peace can be enjoyed by the future generations of Indonesians in Aceh. Even now, after more than 7 years since the Helsinki MOU, there are still many bumps in the road to peace, such as a dispute on the use of a provincial flag and the difficulty in implementing Islamic bylaws in a country that upholds pluralism. I asked President Mati Artisari about what he thinks still needs to be done to fully implement the Aceh Peace Agreement.
Now, if you look at what's happening in Indonesia, we had the peace agreement in Aceh in 2005, 7 years, 6 years down the road. I mean, what's your assessment of what's happening in Indonesia, and particularly in that part of?
No, I'm pleased. It shows what I said to you, that the real work starts, because the Acehnese have to learn to deal with central government, and without us. The danger is that we become a problem if we stay for too long. And I very often during these 7 years thought that we might have left a bit earlier, but historically many peace agreements fail during the first 5 years. And I didn't want Aceh to fail, and we stayed. There are still issues which haven't been done from the peace agreement. For instance, there's no human rights court. It's in a neighboring province, but not there. And there's no Truth and Reconciliation Commission. But they don't need us if, when they are ready to do that sort of thing, they do it. And I always say that, and I ruled very firmly last summer, that now I will come to Aceh to play golf and see you all, and to Indonesia, and perhaps play golf in Jakarta or elsewhere as well, perhaps with the former Vice President Kalla and other friends there. But you have to know when you are useful and you can help, but you should not prolong your stay, because then very often the people avoid their own responsibility.
Or you'll be an unwelcome guest after a while.
No, that danger is there, but some processes have taken enormously long time. So why I like the Aceh is that it went actually so well that it's an example how things should be done, and how seriously the parties must look at it. Perhaps it was a Finnish winter because it was much colder, and I don't know, when we have plenty of pictures where we are all standing in the snow there, more or less. And I wonder that why did they like the snow, because I felt that I would like to be born in slightly warmer climate.
Well, it cools tempers, maybe.
No, and it's also, perhaps one aspect is that we were, you have seen it's interesting in a sense that you are isolated there. It's not very far from Helsinki. It's a 2-floor building. Everyone can have their own quarters there. But I could encourage them to start talking as soon as possible, without me. Because they have to be able to live together. I'm an occasional friend and visitor, but they have to learn to live and see eye to eye. And it requires very much from those who lead the negotiations. And your Minister of Justice was, as I said, I praised him for the role he had.
President Artisari's Indonesian government counterpart in the peace negotiations and in putting together the Helsinki MOU over 7 years ago is former Vice President Yusuf Kalla, also known for his skills in conflict resolution. Kalla sponsored the first efforts to restart talks with GAM and their exiled leaders in Sweden in early 2004, while he was still the coordinating Minister of People's Welfare in President Megawati's cabinet, and also managed to find the right mediator for the talks through his business connection, a Finnish businessman, who led him to President Artisari.
Setiap perundingan itu dalam damai itu namanya kompromi, yang dicapai kompromi. Kompromi itu artinya Di satu pihak memberikan, di satu pihak menerima, yang satu pihak memberikan, satu menerima. Karena itu kompromi itu tidak ada yang bisa mencapai maksimum. Harus ada hal-hal yang diberikan dan diterima. Nah, dalam hal Aceh ini yang diberikan oleh pihak GAM itu ialah katakanlah satu, pernyataan untuk bersatu dalam NKRI tetap. Kedua, kembali ke bersama-sama dan menyerahkan atau menghancurkan senjata. Nah, itu saja. Yang lainnya adalah kewajiban pemerintah, yaitu memberikan otonomi khusus, memperlakukan aturan-aturan yang menguntungkan seperti di bidang ekonomi, memberikan 70% bahagian migas, memberikan hak-hak pemerintahan, memberikan fasilitas-fasilitas anggaran yang lebih baik. Itu kan dicapai seperti itu. Dan juga bagaimana memberikan kesejahteraan kepada masyarakat, baik kombatan GAM atau masyarakat umum yang korban daripada itu. Itu isi antara lain daripada perundingan itu. Nah, di sini letak pentingnya Tisari. Kalau terjadi katakanlah perselisihan pandangan di kemudian hari, maka hak duduk dua pihak, hanya Indonesia dan GAM itu kemudian Tisari untuk mencari pertemuan. Kalau tidak, maka diambil suara terbanyak, otomatis yang menentukan suaranya dia kan. Tapi sejauh ini kita belum pernah, selalu ada persetujuan, belum pernah terjadi minta pandangan itu, tapi memfasilitasi dialog tambahan, ya itu dia. Dan juga dia secara rutin datang ke Indonesia sebagai sahabat.
Do you still have good and close relations with Indonesia and the Indonesian government until now?
Yes, of course. We were successful in what we tried to do.
President Tisari, finally, if you could choose the sort of the mediation that you could, you're asked to do these days, and we have quite a lot of conflicts all over the world, and there's one conflict that still hasn't been solved until now in the Middle East conflict. What would you like to help mediate?
Now there may be, you may see our name later on this year, in having been asked to help this phase already when some sort of agreement has been reached in certain conflict. And there's still a lot to be negotiated from that. It's not so ready agreement as we had in the case of Aceh, that everything that needed to be agreed was agreed. But it's more an agreement intent to continue. That you may see us, CMI, being asked to help in those who are actually doing the negotiations. So there are different roles, and we have to try to see, can we in that sort of situations be of assistance, and that sort of things. There are certain conflicts. I find it very difficult, for instance, to think that in Middle East, if we would ever get to the real negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians. First of all, the first prerequisite is that you objectively deal with both. And that's not an easy thing for many governments to do. But I would say that whoever is a negotiator, for instance, in Middle East, they have to have a main government, and I say main government, particularly the United States, backing you whatever you do. And most probably you would require, in this case, I wouldn't exclude even an American mediator.